Don't make us do it.
Don't make us do it. We pregame. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge.
Womp, womp, womp.
And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving,
okay,
man.
right.
A little turkey day. A little turkey day for everyone. The Nuggets, you guys, are on the road trip from hell. They'd fall for the third time in 4 games, 124 to 119, this time to the Orlando Magic. Do the Magic own the Nuggets? Even without Wendell Carter Jr., this time Goga Batazde, they still own the Denver Nuggets. I don't get it. We're going to have to sort through all that. I think there's a lot of things that are worth talking about. I think this one might be one of those post-game shows where we kind of all disagree about the takeaways, just based on hearing everyone's takes during the live show. So I'm kind of excited to battle. To help me battle, I got Harrison Wind.
I just talked for 2.5 hours. Now I'm going to talk about this one for another hour.
There's new stuff to say, though. I held on to some takes. Over here, I got D-Line.
I feel like Harrison, I didn't even talk about it that much, but I didn't even want to talk about it. I feel like that game doesn't deserve our commentary.
Hit that like button, everyone. And then over here, the man who actually did bring it tonight, because while we all lost, we all made money.
Yeah,
Superstar Dad.
We played along.
I mean, there was one thing that went good tonight, and that was it. That was all.
I can't wait for Black Friday. I've got all this new money to spend for Black Friday. In all sincerity, we did the watch along today, and it was fun to follow our bets. There was one play at the very end of the game that won us 3 bets. One play.
The AG one?
Yeah, it was AG. It was, I can't remember what all it was. KCP maybe 3. Yeah, it was a lot of things.
An assist from Aaron Gordon.
It was a lot, all in one, man. It really worked out. This is a short, fast breakdown, guys. Let's go through it right away. 10-3 to start. Nuggets showed up. We haven't seen a great start to the game from the Nuggets for a while. At least they got one thing right. They started off really well, and Michael Porter was a big part of it. But he did pick up 2 fouls. He had his jumper going tonight, man. He looked very confident shooting the basketball, but those 2 early fouls took him out of the game. Jokic had 5 assists in the first minute of this game. It was 28-28 Nuggets at the end of 1. Porter came back in and was still hot. His jumper continued to have confidence with it. That's one silver lining here. The Nuggets went zone a lot tonight. Defense optional for the Denver Nuggets tonight. Michael Malone, he doesn't go to the zone. Maybe they got too cute by half, thinking, they don't have great guard play, so we'll go zone. But it did not work tonight, fellas. Their defense was atrocious, and the zone did not work. Reggie hit a buzzer beater going into the half, though. He now leads the NBA in shots to end a quarter. Leads the NBA with 7 of them. I'm not kidding. That's a stat. 62-56 Nuggets going into the half. In the third quarter, Nuggets immediately cough up the lead, and the Magic take a lead. Michael Malone shortens his rotation. Jalen Pickett in the second quarter, not very good. One of his worst stints. So Michael Malone says, you know what? No Pickett in the second half. We're just going to go with Jokic and the bench. Jokic does leave the game up 2, though. Hands it off to the bench. Strother comes in and hits a floater and a 3. He was playing great. And the Nuggets take an 88-82 lead into the fourth quarter. But this is where the bench collapsed. First of all, Christian Braun hit a 3 and then had a coast-to-coast. Really nice, start from there. Here's a note I have. I'm just going to read it verbatim. Not everyone hustles the same on this team. Because in that stint, when you're going to Reggie Jackson to lead the second unit, and they start the half or the quarter up, they coughed it all up in large part. That second unit doesn't look prettier with Reggie running it, honestly, in the half court. It doesn't. You just need guys to make plays, and then he's one of the guys that makes plays, like offensively, he just makes shots and stuff, but it's not necessarily a great rhythm. Well, in that stint, there was 4 or 5 50-50 balls, and I don't think the Nuggets got a single one of them, including one where Christian Braun flies across the court, saves the ball, inbounds, only for nobody else to even make a good attempt at it. It was very frustrating. So Jokic returns with 9 minutes. Jokic started to get going finally in the fourth. He might have waited too long to get going because he sure made it look easy when he started trying to score. Double tech on Jokic and Suggs. You guys remember that one?
Yep.
And here's the end of the game. Franz Wagner hits a jumper on Michael Porter. Then Paolo Banchero gets a post. Magic go up 4. Then KCP hits a 3. Michael Porter gets a nice stop on 2 separate pick and rolls and then an isolation against Cole Anthony, and he does a good job. It was his one good defensive possession in the fourth. They attacked him every single time. Aaron Gordon gets a drive. Nuggets up 1. Franz Wagner then gets an and 1 on MPJ. We're at the point in time where every point matters, not just like giving up a 3 versus giving up a 2 versus giving up an and 1 matters. He gives up an and 1 at the rim. Easy layup. Crucial play. Jokic gets a drive and a bucket, then Paolo Banchero hits a 3. Michael Porter misses a 3. Franz Wagner barely misses. He schools MPJ and gets a leaner and barely misses it. Denver was lucky to be in it, but on the ensuing play, Denver picked up a 24-second violation. Reggie Jackson dribbled the air out of the ball for no reason. I have no idea what was going on, and the Nuggets don't even get a shot up. They're down 3 with 14 seconds left. Jokic goes for 2. Again, Reggie was late delivering the ball on the pick and pop. The play was there. They got it to him late. Jokic, for some reason, goes in for the 2. I thought that was a bad decision by Jokic. And then the Magic won't miss their free throws. Goga Batazde won't. Franz Wagner won't. Jalen Suggs won't. They made their free throws in the clutch.
I mean, he was obviously stat padding. It's the only explanation.
Jokic, stat padding.
I don't know what else it could have been.
The Nuggets, they lose this one. Dev, what's your big takeaway?
I think it's easy to say, like, we miss Jamal, but this is a game that you especially miss Jamal, and you get to see how much you miss him just because of the late game execution, the perfect decisions, the playmaking and shot creating, and then just making the defense have to respect you. Late in this game, it was kind of like you had to go to Jokic, and they set it up for that. But we just know Jamal would have made the right play right there, and Reggie Jackson just could not make it. Just off by just a hair. But those are like the decisions that Jamal is able to make. So just the late game execution, not having your guy, and Denver not winning that game that I feel like they would have won.
Yeah, for me, it's this whole stretch, like it's the Denver Sluggets, man. Like they are just like not engaged. They are slow to get into action. Just the general vibe of the game is like low, half court, very methodical, but it's not even methodical. It's just like they just don't have any juice right now. Like They are gutting through games. They won the last game through like pure guts. But it's just, like this is a product of no Jamal, but it's also just traveling and this time of year. The Nuggets always uncork one of these like just miserable East Coast trips this early time of the year. And it sucks to watch like them not be themselves, like not fully be engaged, not fully be, they're like, even though like when they're being successful, it's just, they don't have the pop. They don't have the juice, man.
And this road trip, by the way, doesn't really end. They play at Houston on Friday, and they come home for San Antonio, go on the road to L.A., come at home for Houston, then go on the road for another 4-game road trip. So they are not in the same city for like 10 straight games. Ugh. So as much as they do have 2 home games there, they're just one-nighters. So I agree with you that I do think this is part of it. And we saw this last year. Denver did not look like a juggernaut until that extended road series were over. Yep. And I do kind of feel like there's going to be a little bit of over-indexing on some bad road losses, sure, even though these losses are still bad. What's your big takeaway?
My big takeaway is that the late game, end of the fourth quarter execution from Denver was really disappointing tonight. And the Magic are one of the worst clutch teams in the NBA this season. Yeah. They've been really bad in close games. And they honestly looked like the team that had a better idea of what they were doing tonight. And I'm talking about the last 5 minutes of the game. The Nuggets were up, I believe it was 4 points with 5 and change left in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They were in control. Nikola Jokic was scoring at will, and it didn't really seem like Orlando was really trying to double and get the ball out of his hands. And Denver just went away from that for a couple of possessions here, a couple of possessions there for some reason. And I can't imagine it was coaching. It just seemed like a lack of focus to me.
Sluggets.
Late in the fourth quarter. And for a veteran team that's been there so many times, and the 5 that were on the floor, the starters, it's a veteran group, man. Like, it's a veteran group that's been in those situations many, many times this season and in years past. And for them to be kind of just thrown off their game and not really knowing what they wanted to do in those situations and not really focusing on doing the right things in those situations. That was really disappointing, I thought.
But Harrison, they scored 31 points in the fourth quarter. And I agree with you that they left points on the board because there were a handful of possessions. I mean, I said it in the recap, but Jokic, I thought, took too much time to get going because he kind of could have done that a lot more early
That's
on.
why they had the 31, because Jokic had that streak of just being automatic.
Yeah.
But he should have had 36, 30, 38 because there were a few possessions where, for whatever reason, they didn't go to him.
That's what I just said, yeah.
Harrison, I'm agreeing with you, brother. I'm expounding on your point.
Didn't seem like it, but all right.
Harrison, I'm expanding on your point because the point I was going to get, the point I'm getting
I
at,
didn't think so either.
man, this is annoying. The point I'm trying to get at here is they could have scored more points and probably even gotten to 36, 38. They gave up 42 points. They gave up 42 points.
That's so brutal.
If you're saying that they needed to score 43 points, then it's like, all right, we're losing the plot here. They gave up 42 points to the worst fourth quarter offense in the NBA. That's the scary thing. And how did they do it? They did it the same way teams have started doing it since the Houston game, which is going
ISO,
at Michael Porter.
Yeah.
And ISO is not even the half of it because Michael Porter, I think, does a decent job in it. It was a lot of pick and roll and forcing him to guard. And look, I don't want to lay this all on Michael Porter because I thought Jokic had a bad defensive night tonight.
Yeah.
And even in the fourth quarter when we thought he would pick it up, he gets a few steals, he gets some hands on the ball. But it was the defense tonight in the clutch. And it's really been the defense on this road trip that hasn't been there. So now we're looking at the offense and we're picking, we're saying, oh, well, it could have been this, it could have been that. We're doing what Michael Malone accuses his team of doing, of saying it's not your offense, which was an A- and you're worried that it wasn't an A and it could have been. But your defense was an F. And if you could have just had your defense a C, you win this one comfortably. And unfortunately to me, that is the big takeaway.
Yeah, man, it is. It's troubling. It's and a lot of this stuff it's effort stuff, right? It's just like this is what we talk about, just being in the right place, communicating. Like it's I don't know. Things. There are a lot of things where everybody's right. Just the downfall, like the shortcomings of the NBA, having a long season. This is like when people are like, oh God, they're so long. It's like. Nights like tonight and efforts like this road trip, you're like, yeah, it is. Like the Nuggets are not engaged. They're not like doing what they need to do. They're not like they're not playing to the level that we know that they can because we just saw them do it to win a championship. Just a tough night, man. But I agree. I agree with everything that you're saying.
To Dev's earlier point about missing Jamal Murray, I felt like last year the Nuggets had an easier time without Jamal Murray.
I agree.
Yeah, they had Bruce Brown, who is a type of player that they just don't have this season.
Yeah.
But right now, without Jamal, you can't really guarantee them a win against anybody on the road.
Nope.
At home, I still would pick them to probably beat anybody. But on the road, man, they go into every game like it's going to be a dogfight.
Oh.
And I did not feel like that was quite the case last year.
I mean, they look downright average.
Yeah, they look average. They look like an average team.
Yeah, but I
NBA
think the
right now.
biggest point, or just the biggest difference between this year's team and last year's team, Bruce Brown brought that dog out of them where they felt like they were the underdogs and they were going to prove themselves. They played hard. He gave them that identity of like feeling like they were welcomed every single night with like, okay, we're going to prove that we don't only have Jamal. We don't only have Jokic. Like, we fight too, and we have a lot of guys that are going to bring it. Right now, they don't really have that. Like, Christian Brown plays hard, but is he alone right now in that?
That play is perfectly encapsulates where Christian Brown, it wasn't a 50-50 play. There was a 10%, flies across, dives, saves it, and everyone else just watches. It's like one person match his intensity.
Just lackadaisical, and they just feel like calm. Like they're like, we won a championship. We don't have to work hard anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you look at it, and Jokic is the starters, and Jokic is the only one that looks good in these type of games. You need to get back to that. Like last year's team was like, hey, you guys only have Jokic. So they're like, no, we don't. Everybody wanted to prove it. They don't have the prove it right now. And it's maybe because they did win the championship that they're just comfortable.
Because I actually think you're hitting it, and I didn't think of it till you said it. So this is, I think, a great point. One of my fears when the Nuggets lost Bruce Brown was that Bruce Brown was a brawler and he had an attitude to him that raised Denver's attitude level. They had enough. Murray, Bruce, Christian, you had guys that were just brawlers and you knew every night you were going to get competitiveness from them. You lose Bruce and now you lose Jamal, and I think that the Nuggets have they're below the threshold of dawg in them right now. You know what I mean? And they might be one of my
dog
concerns.
Deficiency.
One of my concerns about the Nuggets this year was, did they have enough in that to win a title? And we're seeing right now in this stretch that it's like, how do you save that second unit? Half of it is just they're supposed to be swarming. They're supposed to be the team that outworks you, and they're not doing that, and they're certainly not going to outskill you.
Guess you're trading for Caruso. Mark it down.
Hey, he's got a lot of dog in him, man.
I think he might actually just be a dog.
He might actually just be dog. I honestly think there's something to that. And to be honest, Yoke's not fully blameless in this. I mean, Yoke, 30 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. That's a pretty good night, man.
It is
not
good
bad,
night.
12 of 18. But even he tonight, and again, I don't know if he's the guy. It's so tough, but somebody needs to set a tone of yo, we're going hard now. And if you're not
That's
going
the
hard, get the F off of our team. We'll put in, let's put in Braxton Key to go in and just go hard right now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that when Jokic got going, he's not like, we're going hard. He's like, I'm going to go hard. And
I'm good.
And that didn't translate to the defensive side. He wasn't not everyone was engaged. He was just like, all right, give me the rock. I'm going to twist her. I'm going to do what it is that I do in these moments all the time. But you're right. There's not that leadership thing. It's like this is the constant struggle of the Denver Nuggets, Granted, they won a title last year.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't matter. But
Nikola Jokic's defense was awful tonight, especially in the first half. And that's the tone he set tonight.
Yes.
He set the tone for the Nuggets with awful defense. Now, we were talking in the watch along. It seemed like he was definitely conserving himself. It seemed like he was just trying to get to the fourth quarter without being in foul trouble. And that's what he did. He was able to not be in foul trouble and have a lot of energy. And you felt that in the fourth quarter when he took over for a stretch. But it did seem like the rest of the team took on his not really caring about defense attitude in the first half. Absolutely.
Dude, no one, when Jokic is bad, when he is at his worst on defense, historically, he just won't even put his goddamn hands up. Put your hands up. It's so often where he just is well, doesn't want to get the foul, but won't even show, even if it's fake, just effort of some kind, looking like, hey, I'm making an effort to stop the ball here.
Yeah.
We got full on hands down defense from Jokic tonight. You hate to see it. You don't want to ask too much of this guy all the time. It's you feel bad criticizing Jokic, but he was very bad on defense tonight. He really was, and the Nuggets still almost won the game. A lot of things come down to it. He is the sole reason that they're almost able to pull it out in the end, but he sets the tone. He really sets the tone. And the Nuggets really, truly, it was my big takeaway. They were the Sluggets, man.
I am curious, though, how much we can need Jokic to be that guy. First of all, let's just rewind. Chicago Bulls game, he says, F it, I will single-handedly win this one for you. New Orleans game at home, single-handedly, I will do this. And it is he does have that in him, but I am worried about Yoke going too hard early. And on nights like tonight, he gives you enough. Yoke gave you enough tonight. 30, 13, 12, 3, and 2 is enough. You just need the other guys to step up and be all right, I will step up and be the dog right now.
But that comes from, in my opinion, that comes from him setting the leadership side.
Yeah.
This is how everyone always screams at me to delegate. Delegate, Yoke. Get other guys going.
He needs to sit Mike down and be bro, I don't need the shooter MPJ. I need the dog.
Yeah.
We need to get rebounds and stops here, and I just need you to
or
be
if
the
nothing
dog
else,
right now.
he's putting it out there so everyone's oh man,
we have to match that guy. That's fiery, that's screaming at guys, that's calling guys out. That's just going to dominate. If Jokic puts up a 45, 50 points and he's y'all need to step up too, you have no choice.
Right.
You really have to, step up in that regard, because it's hey, you see this guy giving it his all. Because right now, while this is an amazing game from him, we're used to this. This is a regular game for him, especially against Goga.
Well, it's about his average.
This is his average, so this is it should not be normal. This is not normal for anyone else.
On the
but
season,
this is a normal Jokic game. But if he has that, hey, y'all better step up, especially with Jamal out. I need other people. People will. Like, I want that to be loud. I really wish he was just louder about it, because maybe he is doing those type of things.
Yeah.
But you just want him to be fiery out loud.
Bro's averaging 30 points on the season, 14 rebounds, like 9 assists. So this was actually a very average game. This is the definition of an average game.
All right, we got to take our first break. On the other side, I just called it. I made a bet 365, never ordinary. Top 5 got that dog in them Nuggets.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll debate that, because I'm telling you, I think there's a deficiency in dog.
There is a bit of a dog to fish.
Guys, if you're going to Vegas, check out
There's some
Circa.
puppies. There's some puppies.
Guys, if you're going to Vegas, check out Circa Resort and
Grow the
Casino.
dogs.
It's Vegas's first adults-only casino resort, the world's largest sports book. 3-style, stadium-style seating, huge screens, awesome food around there as well. Can I get some water or something,
easy
Kale?
for you to say.
I'm sorry, I've been talking for the last 3 hours. Awesome food options, tons of VIP seating as well. They got a great casino there, 7,000 square foot casino with 2 levels, stadium swim, awesome rooms, like some of the nicest hotel rooms I've
They've
stayed
been
in.
doing giveaways.
on
Keep
the
your
strip
eyes
as well.
locked, by the way. We had a party over the weekend where Circa gave away a trip to Las Vegas. Hotel,
A lot of trips.
Game to the Broncos game, and hotel and flight. Incredible deals.
If you're heading out to Vegas or Broncos Raiders, Pac-12 tournament, any of those things, book your stay with code DNVR20 for 20% off. DNVR20, 20% off your stay at Circa. That's a awesome deal.
God, it's massive.
Also, make sure to check out Shady Rays. Even though we're going to winter, you still need Shady Rays. That sun still bright, man.
Oh, you need it more than ever, shining off the snow.
You need it. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product that's just as good, thank you, as any of those expensive pairs that you've probably worn. So go to shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized shades. Use the code DNVR, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized shades at shadyrays.com.
Alrighty, we are back. Kale, are you ready with the graphic?
I am making it as we speak, but we can make it as you go.
All right, let's make
Do
it
it
as we
live.
go here. We'll do it live. Bet 365 is never ordinary.
Sure.
They were not ordinary today when we won boatloads of money, boatloads of units.
So many units.
So now we're going to make our top 5, and I mean this sincerely, man. Our top 5 got that dog in them.
Listen, I am dead serious.
I am dead serious about this. That's why I said it. This is not a bit. This is not a joke. This is top 5 Nuggets who have that dog in them. Now, honestly, this was a tougher list to make. I actually think part of the problem
Well,
is
they don't have enough dogs.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I
Bereft
wish
of dogs.
I wish this was easier. That you'd be like, oh, okay, it's clearly these are the dogs on the team. All right, but I'm gonna start with number 5. I went with AG. I think AG, quite often has that dog in him. Quite often, man. He brings it hard nose, goes hard in the paint. Do we have this one, Kel?
He's still making.
I'm trying to figure out whether I should. Anyways, yes, just keep talking.
All right. Number 4, I got KCP. I
Okay.
think he's got a little bit of dog in him,
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't think he should be your number 4. I think he's more of a technically sound defender than he is a dog in him defender, but he's a little bit of both.
Sometimes he wears his hair like Snoop Dogg on his initial album,
There you go.
Doggy Style.
All righty. So far, are we so good? Number 3, I've got Nikola Jokic.
Oh,
Jokic got a lot of dog in him.
It
For
does.
sure. Don't try him.
They're
Don't try
little,
it.
two little wiener dogs, as we learned.
You're right. Out at at Dreamcatcher
Dreamcatcher
stable. They're
stables,
right.
yeah.
It's wiener dogs everywhere. Yoke definitely has some dog in him. Number 2, Christian Brown.
Yeah.
Christian Brown, there's no question, has that dog in him, man. He hustles.
He does.
Oh yeah. Number 1. Who's the number 1 dog in him?
You don't know?
I can't wait to find out.
Jamal Murray.
Oh,
Jamal Murray, to me, has a lot of dog in him, and this is the thing they miss. When we say he's a playoff riser, like he loves the big moments, he loves this or that, like Murray is a guy that is not afraid to elevate the stakes, and when the game's on the line, he's going to make whatever, like 50-50, he's winning those. So
Yeah.
I really do think that Dev nailed it, man, that losing Jamal I don't think they are down talent. I think they have enough talent to get it done. They need some dogs. That's what they miss more than anything.
See, the thing about this list is if we were making a top 6, got that dog in them,
Oh, it's tough.
I don't even know who would be the 6th.
I thought about it. You know who I think it is?
Michael Malone.
Well, Michael Malone would probably be number one. Hunter Tyson.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
A hunter dog?
There's nobody else even in
who's got
like an honorable mention
who's
for got
bottom
that
5
dog.
dog in him? Bottom 5.
There are guys
He's the number
that
one.
should be in contention.
Peyton Watson needs to make this list, man.
Zeke Nnaji needs to make this list.
Tenacious Zeke needs to make this list.
Zeke does not have a drop of dog in him.
He should.
I know, man. But like, you are right, though. You know what? It's what Zeke needs, man.
It really is what Peyton Watson needs. Like
Yes.
that has to be the
He's got
only
the
thing that
attitude.
he
He's got
has.
the
Like,
attitude.
when you got drafted, it was to have that dog in you. That was literally all. Like it's all off of potential. You're supposed to be this all-world defender who plays hard the entire time and just like you got to be tough. You
A little
really
too
have
pretty.
to be tough. And even if you look at that list, once you take Jamal off, it starts to like change the list. It goes to Jokic, and then there's a big drop off because then
Right.
everyone is stepping out of position. You're playing musical chairs with dogs, and it just makes it tough, like to get there. But I know that missing Jamal just puts them in a tough spot to like figure it out after Jokic, and that's why they're having so many issues right now.
Before the advent of the phrase "got that dog in him," how would we have labeled this?
Tough guys.
Tough guys, yes.
Well, that man is a scrapper.
The scrappy list.
No, they used to
Yeah,
say,
it's so
they used to
scrappy
say
out there.
But they used to say junkyard dogs.
Yeah.
They always say
Junkyard
that.
dog. Yeah.
yeah.
But in all sincerity, man, and I don't know who it is to get through because I will say this: dogs. Nobody comes into the league going like, I just want to be a dog, or very few do. Like Dylan Brooks wants to be that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a handful of players that
Yeah.
want to be that. But a lot of people want to be pretty, and this has been my thing with Peyton. If I do have a concern, I'm like, what are you trying to be? Because to me, you are, Andre Iguodala is what you
Sanders.
need to be. You need to be one of these guys. You need to make yourself as smart as possible, and you need to win all of the 50-50 plays. That play where Christian saved the ball and Peyton Watson couldn't get to it tonight, to me, like, Michael Malone needs to show him that one. Don't wait till tomorrow. Show him that one tonight at the hotel. Be like, hey, man, what was this? What do you think your role is on the team here? Is it not to grab these types of plays? Are you leaking out to get a fast break dunk?
Yeah.
Because that's not why we have you on the team.
You know who I would love to develop more dog if possible? MPJ, man. Like,
Well,
Is it
forget about it,
possible?
Delon. Forget about
it
it.
seems possible. Like, it seems possible. Sometimes he plays a little rugged. Sometimes he plays strong. Sometimes he plays in a way that hints at the very potential for dog to exist.
Really?
Every now and again. I'm not saying that it's something that I'm saying it's not there, but it doesn't seem like it's impossible to arrive. And it would just change everything about him.
Let's say if 0 units of dog is, we'll say Zeke Nnaji,
Yeah, a pup.
and
A pup
10,
of
and
dog.
10 units of dog is Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
And you had 5 units of dog to distribute to the
how would
team. How would you distribute
How would
them?
I drip the dog? I think I would give. Oh man, this is tough. Well, I would give it to the most high profile players.
most high pro- so-
you want your dogs to be your top dogs.
You give 5 units of dog to MPJ. Like,
I
we're
would-
doing good. Yeah.
I would give him 5 dogs.
You give him 5
dog
units of dog. All right.
You'd have no
Probably-
dog left.
That's fine, dude. What more? Where else do I need to distribute dog? Really, truly.
You're kind of right. That would probably only raise him to about 7 units of dog. Though I hate to say
To
it.
go back to what you were saying about Peyton Watson and how Mike Malone needs to show him that play and ask him, like, what's your role? He definitely does. Don't you think he's already done that, though?
Probably.
I feel like it's got to come from
Yeah,
somebody
you're
else. And it's got to come from Nikola Jokic. And, like, when I talked to P1 at training camp, he says that, Jokic did have a conversation with him about what his role needs to be.
Yeah.
They had that at training camp.
Do whatever
Maybe Jokic needs to
don't
have
want.
another conversation with him about that
He's like,
now.
he's like, I gave you the framework. Let me make it more clear about the things others don't want to do.
If you were confused, I've got a list here I put together. I put together a Bet365 top 5.
Nobody
He's like,
wants
you apparently think no one wants to shoot threes.
coast to coast. I'll take it. Nobody wants to.
But I'm going to guess Michael Malone's reinforced this already. He should reinforce it again, and I'm sure he will. But it's got to come from the leader of the team as well.
Yep.
And I think there's a fear amongst young players that you're going to get pigeonholed into something. Because some of this is just like, are they asking me to do less than what I'm capable of? But the thing is that a championship team, everybody realizes that there is no less than. And there's no better person to describe this than Bruce Brown, the guy you're trying to replace. Be like, Bruce Brown got paid roughly $5 million for his ability to handle, another $5 for his ability to shoot, and $10 million for his dog. Honestly,
dude.
like if the Pacers could break up where it was.
He's like a purebred Frenchie.
Yeah, he totally is a purebred Frenchie. And that's what they paid for. They're like, his shooting is pretty good. His defense is pretty good. His ability to handle, that's nice versatility. But you know what? He's going to bring some toughness to our team, and we desperately need it. And people could tell Peyton the same thing. He's got a bunch of skills. Everyone can see that. But nobody wants a project. They're not going to want a project that's just trying to be the next Paul George or whatever. Go down there and be the gritty dude. Moving on. Do we make any other notes here about Michael Porter getting targeted? I mean, here's the thing about Michael Porter. He really is inverse of everything, man. It's just like he can't do everything at once. The last handful of games, he really is starting to come out of a shooting slump. He's starting to score. He's starting to shoot with confidence. But tonight, man, what they needed was defensive stops in the clutch, and he was just nowhere to be found.
Doesn't it feel like he's getting targeted more over the last few games than he did earlier this season?
People got mad at me when I did a list about this, by the way. People got mad at me.
For what list?
I did a list 7 games ago, whatever it was. I did the list, and it's up on the site. And all I said was, Jeff Green, the story after that game in Houston was Jeff Green said everyone thinks you put Jokic in the pick and roll. It's not true. You put MPJ. And so my thing was I broke down every single play, showed how they did it, and showed how Michael Porter struggles specifically in pick and rolls. Since then, yes, everybody's doing it.
So it's yours and Jeff Green's fault.
There's only 3,000 views on that video. It's not... I don't think that's not me. It's Jeff Green.
No one thought you could break the 4-minute mile until somebody did it.
Until somebody did.
You pointed out what happened, and
Jeff
now look
Green
at this.
pointed it out. He's the bad guy.
You are right, though. Ever since that game, it feels like we've talked about Michael Porter Jr.'s defense and Michael Porter getting targeted in these post-game lounges. We were not talking about that earlier this season. It was a non-issue. It's something that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And he was playing pretty good defense all around. It's been an issue this road trip.
Everybody gets mad about the MPJ thing. It doesn't matter if he gets benched for bad defense. It doesn't matter if he gets attacked for bad defense. We're just saying what we see. He really has been getting attacked.
How many burners does Vote have?
That would be hilarious.
Everybody does
Vote attack.
They just go and cape for him. They defend him on things that has just been happening. A guy that was on his team that respected the way that he plays showed exactly this is what other teams are doing, and we've been seeing that other teams have been doing it. He has to step up on that regard, and also it just kind of sucks that he can't put it all together all at the same time. Either the shot is going or the defense is going. He focuses on one piece, and that's what's spotlighted. Because it's not to say that he hasn't progressed on the defensive end. He clearly has. At those moments that's all he's focused on. But he can't do everything at the same time. And we got to see in this game, it was scoring. Yeah. And they attacked him a whole bunch. They're putting him in so many actions, and he's just not stepping up.
This is why he's the third, if not the fourth best player on the team. It's like when you see him put into a place where it's like you have to be like, okay, we are reliant on him. It's like, man, you just want Michael Porter Jr. to be the guy that Brendan Vogt sees, You know
who else's defense was horrible tonight, though? That was not discussed. Jokic's was. It really was. Reggie Jackson. And I saw a bunch of people on the timeline tonight and even in the chat. Pickett had a really bad game tonight in that he airballed 2 shots in the same possession. And there was some uncomfortableness to the offense while he was out there. Reggie, I thought, was actually just as bad or worse in the key moments, and in particular the fourth quarter and the start of the fourth quarter.
He was bad.
Remember, that's where the game was really lost. Denver goes from up 2 to down 6 or something in a stretch there where there was no Pickett. That was the Reggie and the bench lineup, and a lot of that was point of attack defense with him on it. I think he was a little tired because he played a lot of minutes tonight, and that was my fear. At halftime, we were talking about how would you play this or that, and I was like, I think you got to give Reggie a rest because you need him at the end. But his defense tonight was actually really bad.
Yeah, it was horrible. And also, that's when Jokic is at his worst defensively.
Yeah.
Is when
He's
guys
at
are
the
just
cover up,
attacking,
right?
like the point of attack, when guys are just letting guards go and do whatever,
Yeah, just
it
like,
puts him in a compromised position where
Every time.
he has to go against guards. Or, the Cavs did it a bunch. Those quick guards get to their spot and they throw a oop, or they drop it off to his man, or he's not the one that has to, go and get it. And you can see him get very, very frustrated. I think that's when Jokic is at his most frustrated, is when there's no point attack defense, and then he has to step up, and it puts him in those type of spots. So Reggie did make it tough because he did not slow anybody down. They get into the teeth of the defense, and then it puts everything on the centers. Zeke is also like a person that gets punished in those ways as well. Like, you cannot put your center in compromised spots, and they do it often.
Yeah. Any notes on Reggie?
His decision making, I didn't think was good tonight. He shot 5 of 15. He missed a couple easy ones at the rim. Shots that he's actually made a lot of this season, but
Whose agenda took the biggest beating tonight? The Reggie Jackson agenda, the Jalen Pickett agenda,
Reggie Jackson's like
the
stamped.
Michael Malone agenda.
Reggie Jackson's stamped. Like, he had a bad night, but
he did have 9 assists. He only turned it over
and he
once.
did enough good things.
Those numbers were
Michael Porter
fine.
Jr.
And then there were a
agenda.
couple things late
NBA
game.
agenda for sure at the roof
Yeah.
tonight.
Back to just like my big takeaway of the late game execution. I didn't feel like he executed great down the stretch either.
No. That late pass to Yoke at the end was just, there's no reason for it to be late. You're running a play. So he had a rough one tonight, and I will say this, man. Here's the thing. I do think that Michael Malone, I hope he continues to play Pickett. I hope he plays him, though, with that bench lineup. I know it sounds crazy tonight, but everybody's afraid that bench, like, oh, what's going to happen? It got murdered tonight with Reggie running it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that there is some... The point guard is almost always going to be the guy who looks the worst in that second unit because it's not a great unit. That second unit needs to hustle. They need to swarm. And then the point guard needs to just get him structured enough to not turn it over. And one thing I'll say about Pickett, his negative plays this year have largely led to dead balls, not to live ball turnovers or to fast breaks out of compromise. I mean this sincerely. I think that...
Are you talking about his 2 air balls tonight?
Well,
That bounced
You're like,
out.
way to go, dead ball.
I mean,
No, you're right.
But that's what I mean is that it's not like there's levels of bad and like driving to the Moutier was the worst at this. Drive to the rim, miss a layup horribly and fall to the ground. It's
be 5 feet under the basket out of the play.
And it's like not only did you take a horrible offensive possession, but now it's 5-on-4 for 10 seconds the other way. Pickett's mistakes largely are of him being too conservative on offense, which leads to like at least being back on defense or missing these shots, which again leads to that.
Pickett, man.
How we missed the Jamal stagger. Oh, the stagger.
Pickett. I did not see it with Pickett tonight.
I mean, he had a bad game.
Yeah,
It's
he had
not
a
good
rough
game.
night.
Not
He
good
was
for
in
the-
the positives, but I mean, he
the
did play a
agenda.
lot of minutes with Yoke.
But so did Reggie.
Yeah,
So did Reggie.
yeah.
Played more minutes with Yoke. I'm just my point here is that especially when you play with Yoke,
all the
just don't-
guards suck.
the second unit is in a tight spot.
I do hope Michael Malone continues to play him though.
The Nuggets needs. I just don't think the answer is to play Reggie more minutes. Like he's at the limit of what I think he should be playing. 34 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of minutes for Reggie.
Yeah, I just don't think there's an answer right now. There just isn't. Like they are trying to cobble together and mix around and
So I think there's a potential answer.
All right, let's get it on the other
Okay.
side.
Okay.
Let's take a break. I can't wait to find out what the potential answer is for this one.
If you
Murray
need
comes back.
Tickets, it's not
trade for
that.
Caruso.
Straight
It's not
Caruso,
that
yeah.
either. That's a couple months from now. Game Time. If you need tickets to concerts, shows, sporting events, check out the Game Time app. Use code DNVR. You get $20 off your first purchase when you create an account. Tickets to Nuggets games, Avs games, shows, concerts, whatever you need in Denver or really wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this, Game Time has the best prices. They've got these great last minute price drops as well. So if you're a procrastinator, you decide you're going to the game late, log on to Game Time, download the app on your phone, get tickets that way. Use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account. Redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets. Lowest prices guaranteed. Also, make sure to check out Illegal Pete's. We love Illegal Pete's, man.
Oh, boy, do we.
We love Illegal Pete's. This episode of the DNVR Nuggets podcast sponsored by Illegal Pete's. Become the MVP of your watch party by catering with Illegal Pete's. If you roll up to your buddy's house or you got people coming over and you have Illegal Pete's catered,
Oh my God, dude.
you're the GOAT. Like, you are the GOAT. So they got tons of locations throughout Denver. All of them have a bar. They got an awesome happy hour as well. There's one right down the street from the bar here on Colfax. We go there all the time. Burritos, bowls, nachos, quesadillas. They got everything at Illegal Pete's. So check them out today.
Dev, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, boy. Which one of us do you like the best?
The top 7 if you count Jamal, but let's not take him out now, of guys you trust clearly right now are the starters and Christian Brown. Power rank for me now, after that, the next guys and who you sort of like trust to do their job night after night.
Do their job?
I'm just curious who the next guy is.
You take out Reggie Jackson?
Yep.
Julian Strawther.
I agree. I didn't want to lead you in any way because I wanted to see. I think I agree. Why?
He knows what is expected of him, and he goes out and does just that.
Yep.
Like, that's really all that he's going to do. We knew coming into the year was going to be threes and floaters.
Yep.
That's what he does, and he doesn't get attacked every single time on defense. He's just out there, and also he just brings a jolt every single time. If other guys did exactly that and didn't try to do everything else or just knew their role and stuck with that role, I think it would make it easier. But I think that everyone is like in the expanding their game role or just trying to prove themselves on a shaky second unit that it's hard to trust them because it's inconsistent. And the inconsistencies is why you can't trust them right now.
This is why Julian Strawther's already in my circle of trust, man, which is crazy. I'm very careful about who I put in there.
I don't even know if Christian Brown's in there officially.
Christian Brown was in there officially
Reggie,
midway through last season.
Didn't you say on last show Reggie was not, though?
He's not.
But Strawther is.
Circle of trust is different from playoff rotation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But if we're talking circle of trust, Strawther's in mine, man. Reggie's is not.
Interesting.
Like, I trust Strawther, dude. I trust him an incredible amount for a rookie.
There's that qualifier is very important at the end.
Is he in your circle of trust?
No, he's not. I don't like. Circle of trust is like when they get the ball. I'm like, okay, it's gonna. Like, I feel good. Strawther, I don't feel badly when he gets the ball. I do feel like there's potential, but I'm not like, okay, here. Like when Jokic gets the ball, I'm like, it's gonna go in. That's going in.
Well, that's the ultimate trust.
Murray, same thing. I'm like, there's a
He's
really good
at
chance
the
it's gonna
circle
go
of
in.
the circle of trust.
I would say he is circling the circle.
Yeah, they're circling trust around him.
Here's what I said. Strawther is not in my circle of trust. He's just the
the
next
next
up
guy,
on
yeah.
that list.
This is becoming a semantic argument, but here's what I'll say about him. I trust his decision making.
Yep.
I don't trust his ability to do everything yet. Like, he's not going to mess up on defense, but he might get scored on a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he's not going to mess up. Yeah. And the same for offense. He might not score, but he's going to be in the right spot. And he might not be able to beat the guy off the dribble, but he'll know when he's supposed to and when he's not supposed to. So he's in my decision-making circle of trust, even if he's not necessarily proven to be in my aptitude.
A lot of circle of trust.
Lots of circles.
We got to diagram this. The Venn diagram in the middle is just the actual circle.
Yeah. Oh, so dumb. Zeke Nnaji definitely not in my circle of trust.
He better not come near mine.
Yeah, he's like 3 rings outside of it.
I will
right
say
now.
this, man. The same way that
He's
I
like
think
on the far edge of
there's something
Saturn's
to
rings.
no matter which point guard runs the second unit, they all look terrible at the moment. All 3 of them. Even Jamal. I guess when Jamal was there, they swarmed defensively. Maybe they just have lost that. I kind of feel the same for Zeke. Tonight, Reggie threw him a lob. I'm telling you, this is by design. The Nuggets are rolling him to the rim like he's going to be a lobster
Right.
every time, and
They're rolling him to the rim like he's DeAndre Jordan on the lob City Clippers.
I think was that out of a timeout tonight, by the way, that they did
I
that?
don't
I think
remember.
I just remember it being a very deliberate choice
What
that they
pissed
ran
me
a
off
lob.
more
it
is
was doomed from the start. Though.
Reggie Jackson put his hands up like he was shots that he didn't catch it. I'm like, what? You made that decision. I'm not even mad at Zeke. He is who he is. You made that decision. Why would you make that play? And also, if it came out of a timeout, somebody thought that was a good idea. I'm like, bro, what are we on? What are we doing?
Michael on Magenta taking a beating.
By the way, after the free throw tonight that we got the angle from the top of the backboard on his free throw, I no longer want to experiment with him popping.
No.
That thing looks so gross.
Well,
Sideways.
maybe the Nuggets are on to something.
I think I'm telling you, this is why when everyone's like, why did they change Zeke's shot or whatever? This is why nobody bought his shooting.
They're like, when you shoot, put as much side rotation on as possible.
Very, very strange. We're in a tight spot.
Yeah, we're in a tight spot.
Let's do this one now to be a little bit more sunshine and rainbows. Who do we predict is going to be the guy that improves here over there? Do we just ride this out till Murray comes back?
That's what's going to happen. We're going to get gritty wins. We're going to get ugly wins. We're going to get spirited efforts. We're going to get disappointing results.
And then Murray comes back.
And there's a word for this that can summarize it all. I'm not going to use it. You've heard it before.
Seasonal affect depression.
It is purgatory.
Oh, purgatory.
Get out of here. Get off the show. You can't come in here with the P word like that.
Actually, let's go here. Here's something that people are starting to talk about in the Nugget sphere. You know, the internet where everyone's talking all at once. People are starting to say Murray's just not a reliable guy.
Because he's injured.
A lot.
I mean, come
Fair or unfair?
unfair. When you start to talk reliability, like that's your like conscious actions. Like being unreliable, that's the wrong word. Like
Yeah, I think that's the wrong word, Joe.
it's I understand the sentiment and what they mean. It's like
Well, then what is it I'm trying to say then?
well, that is what I'm sure how people are framing it, but
Okay.
that
Yeah.
makes it seem like he is not up to the task.
Gotcha.
When this is like, you know, he's not. His body is unreliable. That's the thing that you can. It's his goddamn legs. It's always legs with Jamal Murray, which is crazy because he's like the built from iron guy, like the push-ups in the snow guy. But like, it is truly like every year there's some reason, you know, and I don't know. Unreliable, I guess.
Unreliable is, I
It
think
does. It
it's,
just sounds like the wrong.
Yeah, it's like,
phrase.
you know who's reliable? Oh, like Jeremy Grant's reliable. Like
Yeah.
he's going to give you 20 every
Yeah,
regular
you can
season
count on
game.
him. He'll be there.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know that was being talked about, but I can see.
I didn't either.
I can see where the argument comes. Like, if you think about the Nuggets could, you know, possibly have 2 rings right now. The reason they didn't get the ring is because he was not there. Then he sits out for more than a year. Comes back, wins it, gets hurt again, and then now you just don't know what it looks like. So I guess you could just put that in your head, but it's all because you just want him to be out there. You want him to play. You can't call him unreliable because he played a bunch of games last year, and that was coming off of an injury that set him down for so long, and they won the championship.
He was very
But
reliable in the.
I think he's like Michael
playoffs.
Porter Jr. You could argue either way. Like, did he have a good game tonight? Did he have a bad game tonight? Like, you can argue either way. It depends on which side you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wouldn't. His health is a question mark. Is the way I would say that. I wouldn't say that he's unreliable.
It's crazy that since Murray came into the league, he's played Jokic has played almost exactly half of his minutes with Murray, which means he's played half of his minutes without him. That's a long time for a guy when you're starting and closing every game.
I mean,
kinda
one full
wild.
season.
It's 8,000 minutes basically that he has played without Murray.
And the thing about
He's played with a lot of really bad guards.
and they said till the end of the month for Murray, and like they cannot rush him back.
They can't. The
Like,
hamstring is
It has to be.
absolutely
It has to
not.
be minimum that time. Like it can't be like, oh, he's feeling a little better. Let's get him back in there.
Yeah.
Like you gotta. That's soft tissue stuff.
All
Man.
right, here's the last part. Silver lining. Last part. We'll take our final break.
Then can we get to my solution?
Did you have it? No, go for it. I want to hear it.
Okay. So I've been thinking that the Nuggets should try to go to more lineups with no point guard.
Yeah, I
When
agree.
Jokic is on the floor.
I agree.
They found this lineup against the Cavs. And it was without Reggie Jackson. And it was Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, Julian Strother, and who was the 5th? Nikola Jokic,
Was it
Aaron
Peyton
Gordon.
Watson?
Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, or maybe it was Reggie Jackson.
No, it had to have either been
KCP?
Peyton
Yeah,
or
no.
KCP.
Oh, no, KCP. Jokic, Gordon, KCP, Christian Brown, Julian Strawther. And they went on this great run against Cleveland. And, like, that was an awesome, awesome lineup. Both ends of the floor, the ball was popping. Jokic was running point. You can even have Aaron Gordon bring up the ball. And then I think in that same game, Reggie Jackson played a lot with the bench. You know, he was the point guard with Jokic off the court. I like that. Now, I want to see more of Jalen Pickett. I definitely do. But I also want to see more looks when maybe Jokic is just the closest thing the Nuggets have to a point guard. I don't think it's a necessity. I don't think it's an absolute necessity that the Nuggets have to have a traditional point guard on the floor at all times.
But then what about the other minutes when Jokic is not on the floor? It's like,
Well,
those are kind of what we have to solve, right?
But here's what you could do. You start the game with your starters. Your first sub is Julian Strawther for Reggie Jackson, like it was in the second half. Reggie plays, the first half with the bench, and then, you figure it out from there.
I honestly think that those Yoke minutes, I know it's weird. Colin and I'm a Pickett guy. Pickett's minutes are going to look better if he's with Jokic. I don't want him. I'd rather him play with the bench unit so you can maximize those Yoke ones because those are your knockout punch. And currently, nobody is lifting the bench. So it's almost like you might as well just, I don't want to say waste it, but you might as well let them try to figure it out than keep trying to tinker with it when nothing is working. And make sure your Jokic minutes are always a major punch. So I kind of like it.
I'm also trying to just get more minutes for Julian Strawther because I just freaking love that guy.
I think he's earning them.
Yeah.
I honestly do. I think he's earning those minutes. So I kind of like it. By the way, those Jokic Brown lineups, just any combination you put there, especially the no point guard ones, those lineups are really doing well. So I wonder if it's conceptually doesn't feel right, but the numbers are telling you it's good, and it's like you got to trust them, man.
I think it's probably conceptual. I know Michael Malone likes to have a traditional point guard on the floor at all times. I'm sure that's what it is.
Almost every combination you could throw out that has Jokic and Christian in it is a plus 20 net rating.
Yeah.
Almost every single one of them. They need to play more minutes together. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we'll do some super chats. We'll go around the association. But first, we'll give a little silver lining because I do think there is some here. Cheer you guys up before you go off with your families for Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow, you just depressed me and lifted me in one sentence.
When you get hurt, Bax & Schenker is here to help. Bax & Schenker wins for Colorado families. They've been doing so for more than 25 years. And you don't pay Bax & Schenker any money until they win your case. No upfront fees, no fees while they work on your case. You just pay them some money when you get money, when they win your case. So check out Bax & Schenker. All kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help you if you're injured at work. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They've got neighborhood offices as well in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, Fort Collins. Give them a call today, 222-2222, to find out if you have a case for free. Bax & Schenker wins. Also, shout out to our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing. Red Hawk Roofing is Denver's best roofers. They have decades of experience, quality materials, quick response time. If you hit them up, boom, they'll get back to you right away. They are Colorado's best estimators and contractors, and they give free in-depth photo reports for all inspections. Also free, no obligation roof and property inspections. So these guys give you the full experience, full roofing experience. So if you're looking for a new roof of your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com. Winter is coming. You don't want to be that guy who on like the first big snowstorm, you look up and you're like, shit, that's not good.
By the way, do you know
I
when
wish
that's
I'd
coming?
taken care of that earlier.
Do you know when that's coming? Tonight. Snows tonight.
What?
Oh no!
I don't need that in my
Snow
life.
into
You
the weekend,
sounded
you guys.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it. This was one, or maybe it's tomorrow. Actually, I could be wrong on this. I think it's tomorrow. It's
a
tomorrow.
white
It's tomorrow night.
Thanksgiving.
It was like 75 today, and it's 25. A high of 25 on Friday or something. I always get a headache when that happens.
Barometric pressure is a killer.
Do I have a bad like pressure regulator or something, like my inner ear?
Maybe.
Without knowing anything else, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Are we good?
We're good.
Silver linings here, guys. There's a reason I love the 82 game season. This is where we just spent the whole night zoomed in. So zoomed in, we're looking at the microscopic level. Let's zoom out for a second.
Like a red hawk.
Yeah, they're actually ability to zoom in and zoom out is part of what makes them so effective. This stuff could be good for the Nuggets, man.
It is.
I know it doesn't feel like progress because we're kind of in a loop right now of the same thing happening, but that's how it works. Oftentimes, it's, especially when we're talking about young players, there's just a lot of games that don't feel like progress, and then it clicks, and then there's progress. And I just think that the Nuggets, there is a lot of good that's coming out of this, even if we don't see the fruits of that labor just yet.
This is true of every worthwhile endeavor in life, is that it sucks until it feels good. Running a marathon, working out, working a job, anything that's worthwhile, you have to kind of go through it to be able for it to feel like it was worth it in the end. And we just went, obviously our expectations have been changed. They've been raised for reasons that should be obvious to anyone that has been paying attention to the Denver Nuggets. It sucks to watch them regress in this way that is unnatural, and it's just obnoxious because you don't get like that good dopamine hit like you want the night before Thanksgiving.
I want it.
But like you say, it's delayed gratification. We're watching players that would not be given the amount of effort and time and focus get all of that, and watch them grow and progress and feel more confident and comfortable in times when maybe even they're not needed, but like they have a smaller amount of time and they're able to capitalize in that small amount of time. It's all, it is that this is why the NBA, it takes a certain type of person to be able to follow long-form stories, which oftentimes, like, the national media wants to boil it down to a day-to-day, sensational nonsense. But not you people. You people get it. It sucks, so it'll be cool later.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have at least got to see what Colin Gillespie and Jalen Pickett look like.
Yep.
Not just, I don't mean just like what they actually look like, their physical appearance, but what their games are like.
It's true, though.
Because,
honestly,
there's a good chance that if Jamal Murray stayed healthy and Reggie Jackson stayed healthy, we wouldn't see any of those guys for at all this season,
right,
especially with how Reggie Jackson's playing. So,
and early, because those guys will be out of the rotation soon, and it's like, all right, now get to work. Now you know where you're at.
Yeah. And now it's not ideal. I would rather Jamal Murray be healthy, of course, but I do think a silver lining is we at least have some data of what they can do to work off of and further evaluate.
Yeah, it's all the same things. Like just getting a look at your young guys all at the same time right now, and also going through those growing pains early in the season, so when you get your guy back, you can get back right. It also would give them fresh air, fresh legs, a new sense of hey, we know what we are when we're at our best, and we're at our best when Jamal is out here. So you get to see a best of both worlds, and also know that you have guys that you can go to when things get tough. They're going to figure this out. They're going to get back right, and you get to see that early on in the year. So that's a positive.
For sure.
Let's read some Super Chats, Kale.
Oh, there's a silver lining.
We got rich.
There's some sickos out there that are willing to donate to such
on
a miserable...
Thanksgiving, man.
Dude, you want to talk about being thankful?
Homies.
You want to talk about being thankful? I can't read it. Can you?
Can you make it a little bigger, Cal?
I can read a little.
Sava. Bench got outscored by a double and made some terrible calls while on court. Jokic made a bad decision with that double tech. Shifted the momentum in the clutch. Sluggish. Greetings from Serbia.
The Sluggets.
Yeah, the
Jokic
Jokic tech was
man.
weird. He was definitely frustrated.
He's just
he
on
shouldn't
edge,
have
bro.
gotten a tech on it, to be honest.
Jokic is on edge. It sucks. It sucks for
Jalen
him this
Suggs
early on to have to
flopped
be
his ass on it.
carrying the team the way he is. He's on edge, man. It's uncomfortable to see because when things get a little rocky, you're like, oh man, you're nervous. It's like,
Bro, I'm nervous that he's gonna get.
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
gonna pull a Draymond or something and
that's what I mean.
suspension.
That's what I mean. It's like it just feels really,
Yeah.
unsettled
His
and
fuse is
unbalanced
short
right
right
now.
We haven't seen it from him in a while.
Is Zeke the worst player
No.
in the NBA?
No.
He's not. He's been disappointing this season, though, for sure.
Zeke's in a tight spot too, man. I want to see him when Murray gets back really play well. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for him. He shouldn't be this it shouldn't be this precarious,
Right.
But at the same time, he is in a tight spot.
Yeah.
But come on, Zeke, get that dog in you.
Sava again. Jokic stopped playing rim protection defense because he gets soft fouls and is more valuable
we
to
know
the team
why.
on
We
the
know why.
offense as a motor. But should try to be the guy on defense, just try to make stops.
He was playing really good defense at the start of this year. Like, he came out wanting to. And
He did.
It's all gone.
He wanted to set the tone in that regard, and I
true.
think he did.
Right.
You know, Nuggets have been a top 10
they've-
defense so far this season, but
They've lost the tone.
as we know, and as Jokic knows, I don't think that's a thing you can do for 82 games and then still have what he needs to have in the tank to win another championship.
Dude, they ate the Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and it looks like Cole Anthony ate a turkey post-game.
Oh my God!
They
Right.
ate a turkey on the
Like
court.
John Madden.
Like
Madden.
NFL style.
On the
Serve 'em a
court, they
turducken.
rolled out a turkey in the post-game interview, and they all ate it.
That's
They
kinda
were
sick.
feasting, man. They
Dude,
should have been up.
Franz
You
Wagner
didn't.
was like, "This is my first experience."
I was just gonna
this
say, what are you doing? You're
Thanksgiving."
German. You eat Thanksgiving? That's
Yeah,
our
and Paolo
thing.
Banchero's Italian.
What the hell? This is an absolute insult.
Although he played for Team USA. Traitor. 55555-ish. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for my friends, family, chat, and the DNVR crew providing great content year round.
We're
Thank you,
thankful
brother.
for all of you, man.
55555
You guys do
ish is
raise
a
our
real one.
vibes, man. I'm glad we
Real
raise
one.
yours from time to time, and you guys raise ours.
55555 dog in it.
You got the sixth most dog in you on the Nuggets. Jacob Hill, you can tell Eric has
Yeah.
that dog in him.
Yeah.
Got that dog.
Eric
I-
might
I've
be
seen his
seventh
X-rays.
on the list.
I've seen his X-rays.
I know,
got
right?
that dog.
You're like, what is that mass? Oh, that's dog in it.
It's dog.
So much dog.
Evrad, they made some mistakes. Jokic not good in defense. Sure, it's his regular season defense.
Yup.
He
Yeah.
can't do it all the time, but
Nope.
they were not bad. Magic played well. They were slightly better. It happens. It does happen.
It does.
Good
and-
super chat.
But it's the thing is that they did play slightly better, and they were slightly better, but they're not.
Yeah, they're not better.
They
And
are
we know
not
it.
ultimately better. That's the
They're on a
frustrating
roll
part.
though, and they're having fun, man. They're having fun. Those.
They're the Broncos.
Again, Nuggets were 5-7 on the road without Murray last year, so it's more the same this year. Good
Yep.
stat. Good stat.
Yep.
Man, you guys declared Franz Wagner not good, and he went for 27 points on 11-8.
I didn't make any
Well, he had
declarations.
an incredible second half.
You guys called it.
He might only
Ben
have like two.
1984. These tough
went
times
off
will
on
only
us in
better
a second.
prepare us. Amen.
It's
They
true.
will.
It's true.
It's true.
Franz Wagner almost outscored Yoke, man. Let's do a quick ATA. There's a lot of games, Dev. Can you just like run us through quickly? Because
Yeah.
there's one thing in particular I want to get to.
Around the
Around this is
association.
presented by.
No one.
Still looking for a
Still
sponsor.
looking for a sponsor.
Still looking for it. So I'll just go quickly. The Hornets beat the Wizards. Another high-scoring game. Another monster game
Oh my
from
God, Nick is
LaMelo
on
Ball.
his mo-
34
Wizards
points.
Hornets is the goon ball. That's the goon ball right there. That's two teams that play like goons.
LaMelo at 34 and 13. Miles
good.
Bridges, 33 points,
Bro,
10 rebounds.
the worst thing about the NBA is like Miles Bridges is so good, and like you can't be a fan of his.
I don't even want to say anything. Let's keep it moving.
You just
was-
can't do it.
I mean, he was good even before all of that happened.
No,
man.
that's the point. Like, the
didn't
Hornets,
get good
the
because of
Hornets were my team. Like, they were my like kind of sneaky side piece team.
So uncomfortable.
And now, and then that happened. I'm like, oh man. And now you're like, oh, I can't cheer for this.
Yeah.
The Pelicans get the win, 117, 112.
Bro,
over
I'm
the
trying to tell you
Kings.
guys. I'm worried that Pels team, when they're at their best,
That
is
Pels
good.
team was good. De'Aaron
I'm
Fox-
not worried still.
They beat them because they're not going to be their best when it matters. But they beat the Kings 2 times in a row. That's big time. They beat Dallas. They smacked Dallas.
Your
they
Kings.
smacked Denver. They smacked the Kings. They're good.
Yeah, Zion had 25 points. Ingram had 23 points. The Pelicans are good, really. Like
Trying to tell people.
they get it done, and they also are missing McCollum, and they still happen. When an NBA player has a dream, their dream consistent. It's every time it has the Pacers in it. That is a dream matchup. They had 300 points in regulation last night. Did you guys see that?
I did see that, man.
That was insane. 300 points. Second night of a back-to-back. You think that they're going to slow down? No. 131, 132 to the Raptors. The Raptors get the win.
Oh, my God.
They put up the numbers, man. Pascal had 36 points.
Pascal's yuck.
On the other side, you had to be E40. Eric 40, huh? All right, Buddy Hield had 31 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 33 points, 16 assists. That is my side piece. That guy's good.
He is good, man. I love Tyrese Halliburton. Me and Legler the other day debated, would you rather, and I am curious you guys, would you rather start your team right now with Tyrese Halliburton or with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Halliburton.
I'd take SGA. I think it's
That's
weirder.
a tough one, though,
I think
man.
it's weirder to refer to a one guy as a side
I think
piece
SGA has
versus
gotten
the
a little
team.
overrated.
Huh?
I think SGA has gotten a little overrated.
Have
You're
a
talking
guy
about the
that's a
second
side
place
piece.
You have a
Thunder
team of
team?
side pieces?
Yeah,
Well,
they got
like
a
you have a
good
side
squad.
piece team. To me, it's
Crazy.
weird
You have a team of side
to
pieces.
point out a guy as your side piece. That makes it sound like you're in a literal relationship with him.
I mean, I've been in a relationship. All right. The Miami Heat get the win 129-96 over the Cavaliers. Miami's starting to win a lot.
Dude, of course they're 10-5. They have the same record as the Nuggets.
Theirs is in a row, it feels
Yeah.
like.
They're the opposite of the Nuggets. They're
Yeah.
winning all late.
Kyle Lowry had 28 points in this. I didn't even know he was good. Your side piece, Hawkes, 22 points. 8
This is my
rebounds,
side piece, right?
Yes.
You're giving this to me. Hell yeah. How do you do? Tell
28
me.
points.
Just another one.
22
Another one of
sorry,
Adam's
22
guys.
points.
This is my guy. No. I get the Latinos, you guys. Come on, it's a rule. I get the Latinos.
Side pieces.
You
Jaime
get him
Jaquez.
and Juan Toscano.
I genuinely love this dude's game, though. He really is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Name
got
or
a sweet
game?
game.
He's smooth, man.
Boston gets the win over the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's a big win.
Yep, the agenda for everybody's agenda was down today. Really.
We took a bunch of help.
To the agenda. This was like one of the worst agenda days we've ever seen.
Oh my God! Let's
rough
end
agenda
the
day.
show.
Brooke Lopez, 28
We need a day off
points.
to recover.
28 points leads all scores. Damian Lillard had 27 points. Not a great game for Giannis. 21 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of 20 from the field. Boston, Jaylen Brown had 26 points. Jason Tatum, 23 points, 7 of 17 from the field. So not horrible on the agenda for him, but a win. The Clippers get the win over the Spurs. This was a weird game. First off, I'm going to go to the stats, and then you could break down what happened in this game. Kawhi had 26 points. Paul George, 24 points, 8 of 23 from the field, so not a great game, but they pull off the win. Wemby had 22 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. What happened in this game, Adam?
So Kawhi used to play for them, huh? He used to play for San
I
Antonio
remember that.
back in the day and back in a previous era.
First time hearing of this.
Well, today he goes to the line. It was a long time ago. And can you guys believe it? Spurs fans booed him.
Huh. Because he had
Betrayed
a
them.
strange injury thing that forced himself out of
That
town.
forced himself out, very much wanted to go to the Lakers or wherever. And they booed him. And you know who was having none of it? Greg Popovich. Roll that footage.
Roll that beautiful
Excuse
piece.
me for a second.
Pops on the
Can we
mic.
stop all the booing, let these guys play. It's got no class. It's not who we are. Knock off the booing.
That's not who we are.
That's not who we are. He don't know those people.
He's like, they're like, this is exactly who I am.
Can I tell you guys something? They booed him right after that. They booed him.
Good.
If Greg Popovich explained to me that's not who we are, I'd be like, you don't, I am, that is all I am.
I don't know you.
Here's the thing. Mark Spears berated the city of Denver a few years back for booing Carmelo Anthony.
Oh
Here's
my
the thing.
God.
Booing is
Sports.
100% acceptable. There's nothing
Why, 'cause it's
offensive about
sports?
it. There's nothing like scumbaggy about it. There's nothing bad at all, period, about it. Sports are fun because you go into opposing arena and they don't like you.
They're like,
They're like, I don't like this guy and I hope he fails.
Popovich is like, all right, guys, we don't express displeasure around these parts.
Yeah.
Not one of us.
I love Popovich. I respect everything he does. I really like Greg Popovich. I like him a lot.
I was like,
But he
is
does
he your
a
side
lot of
piece?
this stuff. He does a lot of this stuff to me where I'm like, bro, what are we doing?
It's actually wild to grab the mic in the middle
Yeah,
of
that's
a game.
In the middle of the
crazy.
game?
He really treated that like he did one of his like anti-gun speeches, which you respect, but he treated it for booing.
That's
During
like
the middle of the game.
when the principal walks into like the classroom and like tells you what to do. Like they're like, who is
Yeah.
that?
Listen here, Buster.
The only time you have ever seen a coach grab the mic like that is
When Mo Cheeks
it's
helped
like
that woman-
Larry Brown when he's begging his players not to go up into the stands anymore to fight the fans.
Yeah.
I love Greg Popovich, but to me, that is a major L.
That's
Like,
a
I love and
major
respect him,
L.
but shut up, Grandpa. Come on, man.
That
Have
is
we
big,
become
that
that
big
soft?
grandpa vibe. Yeah.
Grandpa, and you're like, go back.
I'm
I mean,
glad that they
Kawhi
went
Leonard
back to it.
deserves to
Well,
be
this
booed.
is like one of these
Boo
things.
him!
Yeah, this is one of these things where you've lost the script or you've lost the plot here of life, which is this is entertainment.
Yeah.
And if it was a vaudeville play and we were like, hey, we don't boo Black Bart around these parts. I don't care if he stole the lunch from whatever.
That's really good, man.
People
I caught somebody to reference.
people over 50 are like, man, what a class act. I love that.
like it's golf or something where everyone.
I caught that voice, by the way.
My bad. My bad. Let's keep
Was
on
that
moving.
Dev's white voice?
OKC gets the 116-102 win over the Bulls. The Bulls keep on losing. DeMar DeRozan, 25 points. Cody White had 23 points, 40 points for SGA, 12 assists.
There you go.
Oh, gosh. Yeah,
40 and 20?
40 and 20.
He had 20 what?
Sorry, 12 assists.
I was going to say
Yeah, that would've
20
been insane.
assists.
I was going
That
to
would have been
say.
insane. 12 assists.
Maybe I have to amend
that's
my
even,
Halliburton
That's
take.
even big for him. Like, 12 assists is crazy. For 40 points as well, that's
Yeah,
monstrous.
it was the Bulls.
The Timberwolves get the win 112 to 99
God damn
over
it.
the
They're
Sixers.
going to be the 1 seed at this
Embiid
rate.
decided
How many
to
should
not
Embiid
play.
have?
0.
What?
He didn't
Wait
play.
a second, Dev. Is that a good?
Gobert hold him to zero?
Hold on. Is that a good defensive front court? Why would he play like he played against Washington last week, right?
What did he play?
Did he play?
was
Yeah.
circled.
Hold on.
Hold on.
He got to that game early.
Hold on.
Hold
He
on,
plays
no.
against these teams that have no front court. I don't understand. Why would he sit out the game when there's a good defensive front court?
Listen,
that
I'm
goes
not
in?
playing pickleball 2 days in a week, especially not 2 days in a row.
I'm just saying, if you could have asked me like a month ago, you would have been like, the Sixers the day before Thanksgiving are going to be in Minnesota. I would have been like, I'll bet Embiid doesn't play that one.
Yeah, you've seen that one come. The writing's on the wall for that one. Karl Anthony Towns continues to play well. 23
No
points,
dog in it.
11 rebounds. Anthony
Karl
Edwards
Anthony
had
Towns?
31
Who has
points
more,
in
him
this
or
one.
Zeke?
They got this.
Or they just have 0, both? Both of them have 0?
He's just Zeke Nnaji with
dude,
with
be like-
Drew Hanlon workouts.
He's Zeke Nnaji with a summer with Drew Hanlon.
Oh, we're being so. I love Zeke. He doesn't deserve this. man.
Honestly,
we deserve this.
Honestly, what this terrible streak has done is it's brought us back to life. Our dog and us has been
we
with
got
it.
it, baby.
We're talking shit. We're
gotta bring it.
we're telling Greg Popovich he sucks.
We'll touch that damn mic.
Who else can we really go in on right
Torching
now?
everyone in our path.
The last game of the night is Houston Rockets, or that's not live right now. Houston Rockets get the win, 111 to 91 over the Memphis Grizzlies. In this game, 23 points for Jaren Jackson. He got called little.
No.
Shingun decided
Lil
to
Jaren?
hit a hook shot, called him very little. That
Shingun
is-
did?
Yeah, Shingun said
Wow.
that he was
Shane
too
gave
small.
him the too small.
Very small. He believes that he's small. Jalen Green had 34 points, back to his usual self.
We are taking L's over here, Eric.
Rough, man.
Your boy.
This is bad, dude.
Jalen Green went off.
Time to get the hell up out of here.
Oh my god, dude! Tell me Tari
Wait.
Eason had a
Tari
terrible
Eason
game.
was a plus 24.
Let's go. The
24.
only agenda is still on
6 points.
That plus 24,
Plus
dude.
24, man. By the way, real quick, Memphis is 3-11. Is their season over?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, they're dead.
Yep.
All right, hit that
Jaw,
outro
you
music,
can
Cal.
go to Shotgun Willies again.
We got a couple more super chats,
over.
I think.
From the homie, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, S2. I love DNVR and the community. Thank you. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for letting S3 hang on the watch along. Proud of you, Dev. Enjoy the holidays.
You're only
Hold
proud
on,
of
wait a second.
Dev?
Hold on.
That's my
Hell,
guy.
dude.
Y'all
What
didn't
did
know
Dev
him
do?
before this. Like,
That
you know,
dude, that super chat had no dog.
If
in
y'all
it.
seen
Yeah,
that,
yeah, no dog.
if y'all seen at the end, it was Park Hill at the end. That's my guy.
Hill.
So of
I
course,
lived in Park Hill. I
course.
bought my first house there.
you damn sure ain't a Park Hill guy.
I was on the HOA. I'll tell you that much.
S3, man. Shouts to S2 and S3. It was so good to see him. A nice little holiday treat, you know, when
Yes.
you see the homies you haven't seen in a while. Everybody else, thanks for hanging with us all this time. Oh, gosh, Laking Ball.
He's back.
All right, what's up, guys? So the Celtics are good, and I love it. So are the Nuggets. Really on a tier without the Celtics in it.
So he's saying are the Nuggets?
Yeah. You're catching us at a down moment right
yeah,
now.
right.
Hey, you know what? Know
With
something
Jamal
actually?
Murray, yes, they're
You
on
want to know
different
something? Laking Ball. You know what the Celtics are this year without Derek White? They are 1-2. So they've lost 3 games. 2 of those have come in the 3 that Derek White lost.
Dog
I'm
White?
telling- And that is Derek White their second best player?
I wouldn't think so.
On a team that features the best starting lineup this century.
I'm just saying, man. You see what happens when you lose your second best player. That's where Denver
Colorado's
is right
own
now.
friend of the DNVR Bar.
Recently bald by choice.
Who?
Derek White.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he is a big fan, man. I wish he was on the Nuggets. All right, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. We'll see you on Friday. Hey, in-season tournament on Friday. Big game on Friday.
Everyone
Eat up. Take a nap.
Take some time. Get that dog in you.
Get that dog in you. We'll see you guys on Friday.
We all silly like the mayor.